Okay, maybe we can get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Sergi, and this is Module 8 of my self-help kit on the balanced life. This is the audiovisual component of Module 7. So for more detail, please read the script version of this module from Michael's website. Michael's, again, stands for the Management Institute for Quality of Life Studies, and the URL address is miqols.org. And the title of this module is Reallocating Resources Across Domains. Again, reallocating resources across domains. So research suggests that individuals who are dissatisfied with their jobs allocate more resources to more satisfying non-work activities, such as leisure, family, or religion. Consider the following study comparing the quality of life between people living in rural and metropolitan areas. The study found that both groups report equivalent levels of life satisfaction. However, metropolitan residents reported greater satisfaction with family and close friends, whereas rural residents reported greater satisfaction with community and agricultural productivity. The findings suggest that life satisfaction is maintained through compensation. That is, decreases in satisfaction in one domain are compensated by increases in satisfaction in another. Specifically, compensation occurs when an individual who repeatedly experiences dissatisfaction in one life domain allocates significant mental or physical resources from another life domain to offset the satisfaction deficit. Rural residents who had fewer opportunities to socialize frequently with friends and family compensated by gaining satisfaction from their community and the fruits of their agricultural labor. In other words, individuals who feel dissatisfied in a life domain, let's say domain X, allocate more mental and physical resources from that domain into another life domain, let's call it domain Y, are likely to experience higher level of life balance and life satisfaction overall than those who feel equally dissatisfied in domain X, but do not reallocate resources from there to another life domain. Let's call it domain Y. Allocating mental and physical resources to another life domain, let's say we call it domain Y, increases life balance and satisfaction in that domain, again, domain Y, to compensate for the decrease in decrease in satisfaction in the original domain, again, domain X, thereby maintaining an acceptable level of life satisfaction. Because that brings us to what we call the compensation principle. And let's try and see if we can understand the psychology behind it. Dissatisfaction in a salient life domains tend to reduce overall life satisfaction. This is because overall life satisfaction is strongly influenced by satisfaction in individual domains. Hence, decreases in satisfaction in one domain are likely to decrease overall satisfaction with overall life. For example, decreases in satisfaction with work life are likely to reduce overall life satisfaction, and decreases in overall life satisfaction tend to be very troubling. People do not do what it takes to prevent significant decreases in overall life satisfaction. They may do so by reallocating resources across domains to offset decreases in satisfaction in one domain with increases in satisfaction in another. Doing so maintain uh, the level of overall life satisfaction the person has come to accept. The key point here is compensation or trading off decreases in satisfaction in one domain for increases in satisfaction in another. This is a life balance strategy. So the compensation principle can be best understood in terms of homeostatically protected mood. This concept refers to the idea that people have a baseline or what you call a set point for their normal level of life satisfaction. This set point is mostly stable and typically in the medium to positive range. For example, scoring 80 points on a 100-point scale, ranging from low to high life satisfaction. The set point is not easily modifiable. Again, let me repeat, the set point is not easily modifiable, and homeostatic forces are always at work to restore life satisfaction to its set point after an imbalance occurs. When life satisfaction is constant, emotions shift away from the set point, triggering homeostatic forces to restore the status quo. Thus, affective experience normally oscillates around an individual's set point. Homeostatic forces regulate the system to ensure that dissatisfaction in the life domain does not decrease subjective well being, while also working to restore life satisfaction to its set point. When a homeostatic imbalance occurs, a set of homeostatic buffers is activated in order to restore balance. These buffers involve unconscious defenses, namely behavior and cognitive defenses. Thus, positive or negative deviations from the set point tend to activate the buffers to restore homeostasis. These buffers tend to be activated more forcefully in response to negative than to positive deviations from the set point, because negative affect is associated with threats to survival. Chronic deviations, chronic negative deviations from the set point can overwhelm the buffers, resulting in chronic negative homeostatic imbalance. We're talking here about psychopathological conditions such as depression. One of the buffers is compensation. That is, compensation is a form of either a cognitive or behavior defense mechanism designed to restore homeostatic balance and life satisfaction. So, in the book, as well as in the script version um, of this module, I discuss compensation strategy, several compensation, more specifically two of them. Two compensation strategies have been well researched in the work-life balance literature: value-based compensation and behavior-based compensation. So again, in the script version, I describe these strategies in some detail. But again, very briefly, let me allude to those as follows. So value-based compensation is when individuals reduce the importance they ascribe to a negative role in a life domain to lessen the impact of domain dissatisfaction on overall life satisfaction. Let me repeat, value-based strategy is is when individuals reduce the importance they ascribe to a negative role in a life domain to lessen the impact of domain dissatisfaction on overall life satisfaction. So again, what the individual does is that manipulates the level or the degree of importance of that domain. Uh, that domain, involves a great deal of dissatisfaction. So again, what the person does is that he makes a decision to consider that domain to be unimportant, right? To reduce the negative spillover of that domain into other life domains, thus affecting overall life satisfaction. But again, the other strategy is behavior based. Behavior based meaning that the individual invests more time and energy in an alternative role within another domain to generate domain satisfaction, thereby helping maintain an overall life satisfaction. So again, the focus is on what you're doing behavior wise in terms of investing time and energy in terms of actual activities. Okay. On that note, I will quit and 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 see you in the context of the next module. Bye for now.